Oh no, look, you can see my headlining falling out there. Probably... Oh no. Oh no, where did that go? Hi all, welcome back to Tired Format. Today I am wearing the same clothes as my last video because it's the same day. You'll notice a theme on this one, busy day. And I'm sat in my new to me, Audi A2 TDI. Why have I got this? Yeah, asking myself the same question, to be honest. Well, I've always sort of admired these cars from afar. I like the fact that they're like all aluminium and all this technology, and they lost Audi loads of money. I think that's quite funny. And yeah, they're just an intriguing bit of engineering. The looks are polarizing. I can't say I love it, but I think it looks kind of funky. And like I say, some cool design features. So yeah, I'll give you a brief look around it. And then maybe you'll come back to this and I'll be giving you a history or whatever. Right, something a bit different here. I'm doing a voiceover because my audio was pants on the day, windy, and I forgot to turn this on. So yeah, exterior wise, it's blue actually, not black. It does look quite black in a lot of these images, but yeah, cobalt blue, which is like a metallic sort of colour. Yeah, so it's missing a few caps. Overall, it's not terrible. It's just like scratch brushed. There's a bit of a scuff on the rear bumper there. You can just sort of see it on the arch. This is the main issue outside. It looks like sunburn damage. It could be chemical spill on it as well, but yeah, it's suboptimal. I'm going to try and paint that myself because I'm an idiot. I could just be a sandback and lacquer job, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's tatty, but actually the exterior isn't too bad, considering what the interior smelled like. You'd expect the exterior to be a lot worse. But no, it's all right. It's all right. I think it looks quite good as well. I know a lot of people think they're ugly, but I actually think it looks quite cool. It looks way smaller now than it did new. I think just because all the small cars are considerably bigger. But yeah, I think it's a cool looking little car. Oh no, look, you can see my headlining falling out there. Audi A2 sort of came out around the millennium. It was Audi's little show off that they could, you know, take all the learning they had from the A8 with the aluminium construction and put it in a small car. I think they're, you know, I think the British press dude, the head of the press fleet, said something along the lines of, it's a small Audi, not a cheap Audi. And that was very true. It was very expensive new compared to its sort of contemporaries. It sort of was going up against the A-Class, I guess, but yeah, the A-Class somehow won, and I don't know how, because that car's shit, and this is really good. Actually, I quite like this. Yeah, this car has the 1.4 TDI. When it first came out, you could get a 1.4 petrol, which was under a ton, actually. It was like 900 and something kilos. This is the 1.4 TDI, 75 horsepower, 3-cylinder diesel. It just nudges over a ton, but still super light. Even for a car back then. So yeah, 3-cylinder TDI, 75 horsepower. I think this is the one to have. A lot of people agree. It's the more reliable one and certainly the more frugal one. Although ironically, this isn't ULEZ compliant and my Range Rover is. For those who don't know what the ULEZ is, I have to pay an extra charge for this polluting 60 mile per gallon lightweight eco thing, but I don't have to pay it for my 4.4 litre V8 petrol Range Rover. Brilliant. So yeah, they did the 1.6 FSI, and it was like the first FSI engine motor that Volkswagen Audi did, so it's plagued with a few issues. I think a lot of them are overblown on the internet, as you'd expect, but it's the usual sort of coking up of heads and stuff like that, and other little fun they have. And then they did a 90 brake horsepower TDI, same engine, but I think a different turbo. And yeah, they suffer from the turbos clagging up, and also dual mass flywheel on those, which is always fun. Not the end of the world, so I don't think they're that bad. Common problems with these overall, the main one seems to be the gearbox. It's just a standard VAG gearbox. I think it's O2Q or something, or O2J. I can't remember which one it is, but the problem is the way the shifter mechanism works on all VAG cars. You have this tower, and you've got the two cables spring loaded, which you can adjust, etc. So it goes up and down and all of that. On every other VAG car, it is an issue. I've had to adjust it before. It's very easy to adjust, very easy to adjust, very easy to adjust, very easy to adjust. I tried adjusting the gear linkage and I've made it worse. And I'm going to do that today.
You're going to have a bad time.
But on this car, due to the weird bonnet design, you remove the bonnet on this, by the way, it has like a little, I don't know what to call it, a shiwi. It's got a shiwi that the water collects and goes into, and for various reasons it's directly above this shifter mech, and what can happen is either that breaks or goes missing, or it moves, or it gets clogged up, and then the water falls straight onto this shifter mech, washes all of the lubrication away, and eventually eats away at the bearings and the adjustment and all that sort of stuff. So I can see mine is lubed up and it does appear to have the water tray in, but I have some issues with gears on this. Second to third can be fun. You've sort of got to aim a bit right, and the same when you go from fifth to fourth. That's a dangerous one. You could end up in second, but you have to aim a little bit to the right. It's almost like everything's canted over a little bit for that. Third to second, again, is a bit of a lottery. It can be a bit, trying to find it, you just can't get it in. And because of this adjustment issue, a lot of people just think it's the gearbox dying, and a lot of people carry on driving and crunch them and do kill the gearboxes. So when you're looking at these and you see a lot of stories about the gearboxes, yeah, don't worry too much. Just go and have a look, because it could just be it's out of whack. I think mine is starting to crunch into third, so be interesting to see what I can do. Definitely going to change the gearbox oil on this, because it's probably full of bits of metal. There are upgrades you can do to the shifter mechanism, aftermarket, some of the upgraded later VW parts I might look into, but this is a cheap car, so I don't really want to spend too much money. As it stands, I've bought a wiper blade. I'll talk more about that issue. A Socoli thermostat, because it doesn't get up to temperature, and while I'm in there I've got a Haas superior performance temperature sensor, because if you do it in the thermostat, do the temperature sensor even if it's a cheap one, because it's easy to do. So yeah, this was £1,000. It was sort of a last minute purchase for me. If you saw the last video, my Range Rover was down for a few days because it had a sticky caliper. You could probably drive it, but I wouldn't really recommend that. So I stopped driving it entirely. I was gonna keep driving it, but yeah, sensibility got the best of me. I apologise that I've got shit all over me. I've just been working on the Range Rover. I apologise. Disgusting, isn't it? Is that better? Have I lost all the... Yeah, a bit cleaner now. So yeah, this car I paid £1,000 for. It was up for about £1,250. I think it was Tuesday night. Yeah, so Monday night I drove it to work. Then I realised that actually this problem's getting really bad. Tuesday I borrowed my girlfriend's car. Wednesday I didn't have a car, so I was either going to borrow my friend James's Aston that you saw on the channel, or one of them, or I was going to try find something. And this was local, very local. I'm talking 5 minutes away into Oxford. So I thought, fuck it, let's just go have a look. I've always kind of liked these. It was all the things you shouldn't do. I was buying in the dark and all this stuff that you shouldn't do, but I didn't really care because it's a cheap car. But yeah, few issues on this that I've already sort of gone over. The other one is the wiper arm on these is really weird. It's kind of like, I'll show some images of it, but basically what happens is it loses, I think, the bearings or whatever go in it, and it starts grinding against the windscreen. So mine's got a scratch on the windscreen. Luckily it still has most of the plastic left, so it's been plastic on the screen. I've just noticed the top cap of the plastic's buggered off. But I fitted a new blade, so at least I can wipe the windscreen now. I will adjust that. I've just been bending it for now just to get through. Yeah, it doesn't get up to temperature. The gear shifter mech does need a bit of adjustment, so I'll try and do that today. It's got a later radio in it, which isn't, which I think is a CAN bus one, so the ignition doesn't turn it off. The switch in the door that tells it the door's open or shut doesn't work. Button for the fuel latch release is there, and you can sit there whacking it and playing with the key. It will eventually pop open, but in reality it doesn't want to open if you have the door shut, basically, which it thinks it is. So that's a bit annoying, but there is a manual release in the boot, so I've been using that. So yeah, interior is very Audi, very sort of slabby and basic, but it is pretty well screwed together. I mean, there's no rattles in this car at all. It's done nearly 140,000 miles, and it's not the best of its examples. You can't hear a thing in it. It's really good, actually. The interior has suffered. You can see the usual Audi wearing away buttons. This is classic Volkswagen Audi stuff here. Like I said, don't think this is right for the car. It's too late. It uses CAN bus. It won't turn off. I have got a cup holder that works though, which is good. That one obviously has been taped up because the springs have probably gone, or everything else. It is very dirty in here. I've had this clean. The guy who bought it off, had it cleaned. I took it to get cleaned again at a place that wasn't very good, and there's still grime. It does stink of dog in here and farmyard. Yeah, so I think, you know, it was down in Cornwall for a bit. My mum lived down there for a while, so I know how much they abuse their cars. Mine's an SE spec, so weird specs on these. Because they were losing so much money, as the life of the car went on, they sort of flipped and flopped with what came with what. Mine doesn't come with a trip computer. It just says the temperature. It's got air conditioning, which doesn't work very well. You know, fog lights, I don't know, stuff. This one's got a black interior, which is nice because a lot of them are grey and all soiled, but these aren't too bad. But yeah, I don't really know what comes with the SE, because I know with the Sport you don't get fog lights, but you do get a trip computer, obviously in the Sport suspension and stuff. So very odd. So yeah, I'm going to actually do some work on this car today, like I say. So you can join me for that now if you like. That should be fun.
No.
Right. Yeah, I just thought I'd show off the little service flap. So the idea is that the bonnet is removable. It doesn't just hinge up. And that little service flap has your all the stuff you need in it. I'm just tapping things away now, aren't I? What a nutter. Okay. Yes, you just unping those two, and then the whole bonnet just sort of lifts off. This is a two-handed job though. But yeah, it's not very heavy at all. And then you've got pretty good access to the engine bay, no matter how small it is. Yeah, it's got this weird sort of cloth engine cover, which I assume is purely for like NVH stuff, because it is a rattly little diesel motor, 3 cylinders of pure fury. Yeah, then it's removing this thermostat housing pipe thing. That bolt is really easy to get to. The next one, yeah, no chance. It is a nightmare. But then I worked out, so you've got alternator that side, and then you've got the dipstick tube the other side, so it's really tight in there, and it's because it's spun round like almost completely 90 degrees, you just can't get to it. Considering the space everywhere else in the engine bay, it's really annoying. But it is doable. I found out in the end that an Allen key will do it, but it was very slow and painful. Yeah.
Scratch on my head then, but I think I've just had a eureka. Yes! That's going to take months to get off. Oh, for fuck's sake.
1 hour later.
Tweed on the floor. Worry neighbours. At least that's... Don't you see? Don't you see? Oh, bloody got it. I just had my... What a nightmare that was. This is my hand. Oh, double f***. Are you joking? Are you actually joking? Did the rubber seal just f*** off into the oblivion? What a bastard job this is. Oh, God.
You guys deserve an update. It has been 2 hours since my last video on here in my time, real time. I'm gonna put that gear back down now. So what did I do? What did I do? Yeah, what did I do? Thing won't warm up for the bleeding at the moment. I'll do it another day. Most annoying thing though is I tried adjusting the gear linkage and I've made it worse. Having a look at the tower though, the actual shift, it goes obviously up and then side to side, but it's doing that quite a lot. So I think the bush is shagged anyway, so I probably can't get it any better. I actually was at one point way worse. First, if I go reverse and then first, it's reverse again. So that's some fun. Yeah, bit annoying really, isn't it? So I'm trying to put this bloody gear gator back on. It's a bit annoying really, isn't it? You work in your car and you make it worse, but there you go. And fifth, at least I've still got all my gears now. A minute ago I didn't have any of them. Yeah, so what do you think? Did I buy a good car? Was it a good buy? Yeah, maybe not. I'll end the video there, we'll come back to this one. Didn't get to go shopping, didn't get to do anything today that I was meant to do because of this bloody A2. All I wanted to do was put the bloody thermostat in and improve the gear shift, and I've just broke everything. Please comment, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I need all the help I can get today. It's been a bad day. Bad day.